Previously, I had reported on this channel about Sam Bankman Fried getting freed from prison off of a $250 million bail. We didn't really have a lot of details at that time about how this was exactly covered, and guess what? There was a lot of speculation, rumors going around on social media. In general, I'm not talking about just from what I was trying to figure out. Lots of people were trying to get to the bottom of this. Well, it looks like we have some new details on what exactly took place. This is coming from an article from Cointelegraph. I will have a link to this article down in the description below. I'll share my thoughts and opinions at the end of the video. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into the news. Crypto Twitter confused by Sam Bankman Fried's $250 million bail and a return to luxury. The crypto community raised many questions about how FTX's former CEO was able to secure bail and the conditions it will come with. Crypto Twitter has seemingly taken issue with Sam Bankman Fried's $250 million bail bond, which allows him to spend Christmas in his parents' Palo Alto home without paying a single dime up front. The former FTX CEO arrived in New York from the Bahamas on December 21st and appeared in court on December 22nd, where he was released on bail via a personal recognizance bond, essentially a written promise from the defendant that they will show up for future court appearances and not engage in any illegal activity while out on bail. According to the release agreement filed on December 22nd, no cash was required to be deposited with the court, but the bond conditions see to it that Bankman Fried's parents' 5-bedroom home in Palo Alto will be used as collateral for the $250 million bond. Some of the crypto community on Twitter were initially confused by the $250 million no upfront cost bail conditions, questioning how Sam Bankman Fried was able to post the $250 million bail figure after he previously claimed he had less than $100,000 in his bank account. Funny how Sam Bankman Fried is able to post the $250 million bail not long after saying he only had $100,000. So he probably is using stolen customer deposits to stay out of jail. This coming from Benjamin Cohen. Under the bail agreement, the bond is only paid up if Bankman Fried doesn't appear for future court appearances or violates other bail conditions, such as a requirement to surrender to serve a court sentence. Meanwhile, those who reviewed the court documents instead shared concerns over Bankman Fried's guarantors, including his father, Alan Joseph Bankman, and mother, Barbara Fried, who would be on the hook should Sam Bankman Fried violate his bail conditions. Host of the Wolf of All Streets podcast, Scott Melker, tweeted on December 23rd that while Sam Bankman Fried didn't have to pay $250 million to stay out of jail, if he skips bail, his parents will have to work 17 extra jobs to come up with the money. Vocal crypto Twitter user Autism Capital elaborated on the matter, explaining that while Bankman Fried has not had to pay any money up front, he has put his parents, relatives, and non-relatives in a difficult situation. Sam is out on a personal recognizance bail. What this means is that no money has been paid. His parents put up their home as collateral. One relative and a non-relative have also put up collateral. All of them would be on the hook for $250 million if Sam runs. While the host of the Regulatory Jason podcast, Jason Brett, tweeted on December 23rd that while it might not be fair that Sam Bankman Fried is staying in a luxurious home while on trial, he reminded his followers that everyone in the United States is entitled to a fair trial and the presumption of innocence. People are impatient to see Sam pay for his crimes. However, the reason America is different is how we treat those accused. Is it fair that he gets to be in a luxury home in a warm climate during trial? Life isn't fair, but we can get a shot at the truth of what happened. Stephen McClurg tweeted a statement implying that Sam Bankman Fried's parents shouldn't be allowed to put up their home as collateral on the $250 million bail as the home was bought with stolen FTX funds. So Sam Bankman Fried parents who bought a home in Bahamas with stolen FTX funds will use their other home as collateral on the $250 million bail. Some Twitter users also found it amusing that Sam Bankman Fried's bail conditions did not restrict him from using a computer whilst being released on bail. So Sam is out on bail, has no restrictions on his use of computers, and follows me on Twitter awkward. And that's from David Joel Katz Schwartz. My thoughts on this? This is weird. This is considerably one of the biggest, worst financial collapses in history. We're looking at this from a crypto standpoint. It's absolutely absurd. And I mean, people are comparing this over to Bernie Madoff and saying that this looks like it is likely going to be worse than that of what happened with Bernie Madoff. And here you have the main leading guy who looks like he just lies so much from what we've been seeing in the public, as people have been keeping track of these things. And what does the judge say? Hey, we're going to go ahead and give you a bail. We're just going to take away your passport. You can't try and flee the country using that, right? But yeah, we're just going to believe that you're going to show up to the court and you're not going to try and skip out on your bail and all this other stuff, right? The fact that the pressure is on his own parents, as well as other relatives, and even somebody that's not his relative, that if he decides to screw this up, they're going to have to be accountable for $250 million. Can you imagine the kind of pressure that that's putting on everyone else? And you know what? If Sam is totally out of his mind, if he really doesn't care in the end, who knows what extent that he may go to. He may say, so what, to his parents, and then he just decides that he's going to take off. Because at the end of the day, he knows, he has to know, he's in jeopardy of facing the rest of his entire life behind prison. We're looking at up to 110 years in prison based on the evaluations leading up to this. This man is grasping at the last bits of freedom that he has right now. And as those walls begin to close in, which they already did for a temporary time, right? He spent about a week over in the Bahamas prison. I think it was actually a full week. Might have been 8 days. And you have that kind of an experience, you realize, oh, okay, maybe he will actually go to prison. I mean, he's already seeing it around him a little bit, right? But then he gets out, he goes home. People got to be having conversations with him. If this is not a reality check, someone that's detached from reality, you don't know what they're planning next. You don't know to what extent they're willing to do things. So we'll see what happens. I think the most likely thing is that he's going to go to his court hearings. He's going to get prosecuted. And with Caroline, who's the former CEO of Alameda Research, that's the sister company for FTX, she is speaking out and admitting things that include Sam Bankman Fried. So she is voluntarily throwing Sam underneath the bus. If you don't think that there will be accountability for Sam, my big question is, why? There seems to be plenty of evidence presenting itself right now that shows that he is getting prosecuted, he's going through the process, and he's very likely going to be spending the rest of his life there. But as it was mentioned here, he's an American. He needs to go through the proper process. I don't agree personally with the fact that they were able to put up this home as a form of, collateral for this bond, for this amount of money. I think that's absolutely absurd. But it happened. So tell us what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I do have a referral link for Webull down in the description below. I've been using them for a couple years now. You can trade cryptocurrencies and stocks. If you use that referral link, you could get up to 12 free fractional shares of stocks valued anywhere from $3 a share up to $3,000 a share. The market's been down. If you guys are looking at an opportunity to try and get something for free, you can look into more details on this. The link is down in the description below. Again, not financial advice. Feel free to check it out for yourself. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate it, guys. The market's been absolutely crazy this year. For those of you who've been continuing to show your support for me and the content that I make on this channel, it means so much to me. And if anyone wants to join my Patreon, you can technically get started for as little as $1 a month. It means so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you also to my YouTube members for your support. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.